Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week of the Pokemon Swish Draft League. This is going to be a little different this week. As far as I don't have a guest with me, we're back to me doing the solo show for this week, but that's alright. We'll make it work. Let's see, our first matchup today, I did not move the logos ahead of time, so we're going to be doing that live here. The first matchup... Actually, he's already in the right place. So we've got the Farfetch'd Gardening Club and wherever their logo is, the Harper's Ferry Haunter. All right, those two happen to already be in the right place, so how about that? That works for me. Let's see. What music are we going to use this week? I think we did use Rose Tower last week, didn't we? We sure did, so we need a different song this week. Let's do Clara. That's pretty good. Have we done hers yet? See, week 2 is Bede, Chairman Rose, The Fog, and then Rose Tower. So yeah, let's do Clara. Clara. I think it's Clara, actually. Either way, the rival, if you're playing on Sword. I think she's the better of the two rivals, honestly, but yeah. Alright. Let's see, not the in-game party. There we go. I had someone actually ask me why my in-game party looks so weird. It's because, you know, we're a few games removed now from Sword and Shield. I still play it a lot for, like, the shiny hunting in the Dynamax Adventures. But the few times I do need to catch a Pokemon out in the wild, I really just need stuff that can Thunder Wave and, you know, set it up for capture. So... it doesn't really matter what Pokemon I'm using. And Sceptile is there for the rare situation where, like, I have to actually defeat a Pokemon. Alright, let's see here. We're ready to go, and this week it's not confusing. We've actually got me on the left-hand side. Thank you for that, game. I'm not sure what determines that, because last week I thought I did the opposite, and we still had that issue. Alright. This team is not easy to beat, as my own team found out last week. What are we going to do against this? Whiscash kind of seems like the obvious answer, because even the Charizard would use water moves against. But if they bring the Azelf, it's faster and it has Energy Ball. So, like, it's just instantly gone. As a result, though, we kind of need to save Clefable for said Azelf because of special defense. So that gives me one of these three to lead with. What's the Vileplume know again? Sludge Bomb and Pollen Puff besides the grass moves. So they can't really do anything to Registeel. Lopunny, I think it has a fighting move. So that could potentially do something. We're going to lead with Lopunny. Alright, well, we're going to have technical difficulties because I'm an idiot and scrolled down and hit done. I thought it... my brain, I thought it was going to skip to the next Pokemon and it went down to 1. So I'm going to pause the video, guys. I will correct that mistake and then I'll jump back in when we're starting the real battle. Alright, we're back from that mistake. So as I was saying, in a lead Lopunny, I guess I'm going to start at the top and scroll down so I don't accidentally hit done too easily again. There we go. Oh boy. Good start to the video. Kingdra, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure what we want to do against this thing. We don't, I mean, we have Moonblast, but like, again, I'd rather save Clefable for when we really need it. We do have other things that can fight the Registeel besides Lopunny. I'm going to go for the Play Rough. We're faster. Play Rough does not miss. I mean, that's a decent hit. That's half its health. Dragon Dance does make it scary, but, like, if it doesn't one-shot us here, we could potentially beat it with another play rough. Alright, if we don't flinch, do we flinch? Of course we do. Alright, now we're in trouble territory because of that. I know it's still going to hurt because it's boosted, but we're grass type. We're pretty defensive. We should survive the hit. If we could get Sunny Day up, that would help a lot with fighting this thing, even with it having the boost in power and speed. Alright, Iron Head going for that flinch again. They did not get it. We've got the Sunny Day up. Now we're going to have double speed, so both Pokemon working with boosted speed now. Can we get enough Giga Drain back to survive this next hit? We are slower anyway. It won't matter, but nonetheless, that's going to help because Waterfall's not going to do as much. It got a crit. Of course it did. I don't think it would have needed it, but it got it. That Sun's big, though, because it makes Waterfall do less damage, so we've got a little bit of help there. I think it has Dragon Pulse, which is not boosted by Dragon Dance. It's basically going to try and Iron Head everything. Lopunny might survive it? Because it did 70 damage before, but that was with Waterfall getting boosted because it's a water move on a water Pokemon. Iron Head's not going to get that same boost, so we might survive it. We do, and we did not flinch. We did not miss either, but the Kingdra hangs on with like a half health. Are you kidding me? Alright, yeah, I think we can beat it with some of these other Pokemon, but I don't want to, like, give it a free hit. Alright, if it somehow misses, which it shouldn't, we'll Drain Punch. Yep, there we go. We didn't get as high a roll. I feel like that's like the... Now Cute Charm activates when it won't help us at all. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's the second week in a row. I think that happened with Clefable last week. Alright, let's go Farfetch'd. Because I do want to save Whiscash, because it can beat a lot of Pokemon on the opponent's team. Except for Azelf. Let's go Agility. With double speed, we should be faster than Kingdra. We did not flinch. Okay. I don't know about Azelf, but besides Azelf, I believe we should be the fastest thing around now with that up. Okay. How are we not faster? We doubled our speed. Like, come on, Farfetch'd. Don't get me wrong, I know Farfetch'd is not like the absolute like strongest Pokemon in the world, but Kingdra only upped its speed by 50%. We doubled ours, so that just means Farfetch'd is slow to begin with. Alright, this might be a Kingdra sweep then. I hope not for this team's sake, because this would be the second week in a row that they've been bested by someone having a really good lead against them. You know what? I know it's not very effective, but we just need a guaranteed hit. Let's go Surf. Of course, it gets a crit on Whiscash, and we needed Whiscash to take a hit. Alright, Kingdra goes down, so at least it's not a sweep. And we do still have Clefable in the back pocket, although getting around Registeel could be hard. Although, no, well, I take that back. I think we have Flamethrower, so there's a possibility there. Earthquake and Fissure do us no good here. Surf is guaranteed damage. Blizzard has the chance to freeze. I'm going to go Surf because it's... I was going to say, it's either going to kill us or set up. If it sets up, we need all the damage we can get on it. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. If we win this one, it's going to be solely because of Clefable. Oh gosh, the game's getting greedy. It's going for the one shot when Clefable comes in. This is where I wish we had the unaware Clefable, because if it was unaware, this would be useless what the computer's doing right now. Darn, I was hoping for a critical hit. We're in trouble now. I think Azelf just wins now. Azelf is so scary in this draft league. Like, it was scary last year, too. It should have been used more than it was. Alright, can you survive a +3 whatever it's going to throw at you? You're going to have have a chance. Yeah, it's kind of what I figured was going to happen when I saw that second nasty plot. All right, that is a 4-0 victory for the Harper's Ferry Haunter. They move up to 5-1. A very good team this year. Farfetch fall to 0-5. I don't think the record is necessarily a 1-to-1 showing of the team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're not the best team in the league right now, as you would guess with the 0-5 record. But if I was going to say by like what they've got on the team and what they've picked the last couple weeks, I would say they're more like in the 3-2 or 2-3 category as far as like how good the team is. Just a couple unfortunate breaks. These last 2 weeks in particular, like, I mean, literally Kingdra got the flinch on the first waterfall it used in the entire match. That hurt. It also got a couple critical hits. It survived the second play rough with like 1 health. Like, I mean, there were a lot of breaks there that if those things don't happen, that's a much more even battle. Just unfortunate. It just seems like Farfetch keeps kind of getting the short end of the stick with some of those luck-based draws. But they're only halfway through the season. They got 5 games left. They can maybe turn it around. As competitive as things have been this season, I think that you could possibly get in the playoffs at 4-6 or 5-5. So 0-5 is not the end of the world. And depending on what we do, we may even have something to do for teams that don't make the playoffs. Maybe have like a consolation tournament or something at the end of the season. So even if they don't have the best, like even if they don't make the playoffs, they may be able to better their team to do well in that down the stretch. But with all that said and done, we're moving on to game 2. Game number 2 is the Great Garchomp against the Shuckle Squad. Looks like maybe I did already have these in order. I think I did. All right, Great Garchomp and the Shuckle Squad. Move on to Team 2 here. As you can see, we're still waiting on one lineup to be submitted. If we get to that team's matchup, they're going to have their team randomly generated here. I mean, we know what 10 are on the roster, but like the 5 chosen will be random. All right. What to do. I am not really that sure here. As far as Poliwrath and Machamp go, I'm not too worried about them with Cresselia and Altaria. Articuno's terrifying for Altaria, and Sheer Cold could shut down Cresselia, potentially. Steelix is a little out of place here, except for fighting Zapdos, and even then Zapdos has Heat Wave. So, not entirely sure why Steelix was chosen. Let's see. Judging by this team, I'm actually going to lead Altaria, because Altaria is able to combat 4 of the 5 to some extent. Like, Gengar would at least be like a neutral matchup. Thunder would just be neutrally effective against it if it's Zapdos. Articuno is really the only one I'm afraid of, and if it is Articuno, then we'll just switch to something else. Maybe let the Steelix take the hit or something. I know it wouldn't be great for Steelix, but it's not great specially defensive anyway. I don't think Steelix is that great a matchup here. Except for if I call Thunder. If they're going to use Thunder, which I imagine they will because Heat Wave won't be very effective, I'm going to switch to Steelix and see what happens and hope for the best. There's a chance it goes Rain Dance to set up Hurricane and Thunder. Okay, we got that option. I was going to say, I could have been serving Steelix up on a silver platter there if it would have gone Heat Wave. But it wouldn't have made any sense for it to go Heat Wave with Altaria out there. The game that doesn't quite think that far ahead. I feel like they're going to switch. Because with the rain up, Heat Wave's not going to do as much. If the game is thinking that far ahead. Since they're going to switch, I'm just going to Iron Defense. Because except Articuno, the others, I believe... Like, if it's a fighting type, they're physical. And Articuno wouldn't have made sense, because Hurricane would have been not very effective, and Blizzard would have been 50% accurate. So I had a feeling it was going to be one of the fighting types. I'm going to try to get one more defense. It's going to hurt a lot still, though. Or not. I mean, I know the Steelix has great defense. I use it a lot. But, like... I don't know. I was not thinking it would hold up that well. They got the flinch on us the first time there. They did not flinch us there. But our health is half gone, so I don't think I can be greedy enough to go for 3 iron defenses here. I think I just gotta go for what I can get. Hope they don't flinch us here. Alright, no flinch. Steelix's body press takes out Poliwrath. Alright, that was a little unexpected. I did not expect Steelix to take out the Poliwrath, even with Iron Defense, body press as a combo. And in the rain, too, with the boosted waterfall damage. Let's try body press again if we survive. That's going to hurt a lot. Steelix survives, but will be confused. So we got to fight that battle, too, now. Yep, that's what I was kind of worried about. Alright, so Steelix is going to go down. It's not fast enough to do anything here. And Machamp can't miss because of no guard. Alrighty, Machamp takes out Steelix. To be fair, the Steelix, though, while my Steelix that I have, like, my competitive Steelix is really good, this variation of Steelix did a lot more already than I thought it was going to do this battle. So, kudos to it there. Let's get Altaria out there, and we'll see if they switch or anything. I'd be a little surprised if they don't. What are we doing here? What are they doing? I think it does have Stone Edge, which could be not great. I don't think I have anything else that takes a hit better, though. Let's see. Altaria is not going to help at all against Articuno. It's an okay matchup with Gengar. I'd rather use one of the dark types on Gengar. And Zapdos is just kind of going to be if we can outlast it. I know that Stone Edge is going to hit. I think we're just going to hope we're faster and go dual Wing Beat, get some damage on it. We are faster. I thought about doing Dragon Dance, but I think it would have murdered us before we got a chance to reap the benefits from that. I stand corrected. Altaria could have survived that after a Dragon Dance. That's my bad there. But we'll probably take out Machamp this turn at least. Alright, Machamp goes down to Altaria. what are they going to do? Are they going to put one of the birds in? Okay, they're putting Gengar in. I would have thought for sure that would have been Articuno territory. Why Gengar? That actually makes me kind of wonder what's up. Absol's kind of frail, but... Oh, great. I should have done Drapion. It could be Sludge Bomb. It could be Sludge Bomb. I was thinking Shadow Ball, but it could be Sludge Bomb. Oh, thank gosh. Okay. So I almost blew that switch there. Should have done Drapion because it would have resisted both. Night Slash if it doesn't outspeed us and take us out with Sludge Bomb first. We are poisoned, but we survive long enough to get one chance to hit it. Alright, not a total waste. So Absol beats Gengar. And Gengar gets credit for beating Absol with the poison. So we got a 3-on-3 fight the rest of the way, although Alteria's seen better days. I said 3-on-3, 3-on-2. What the freak am I doing? Okay, I'm going to actually go Altaria here. The main reason being, they're either going to go Articuno and have to hope that Blizzard hits, or they're going to go Zapdos and try to set up Rain again, which would give us a turn to maybe Dragon Dance. I take that back. I think Articuno does have one other attack. I think it has... I forget what it has. It has something else at its disposal. Ancient Power. There it is. Altaria survives with 4 health. Okay. The game... I understand why the game may not have chosen Blizzard because of the accuracy, but like... Huh. Well, our only shot of Altaria doing anything here is if we get lucky and Iron Tail hits. This week it works. It did not work in previous weeks. It does not one-shot the Articuno, but does help whittle it down. Ancient Power could actually be really bad here for us if Articuno gets the boost from it. There it is. I shouldn't have said anything. That's terrifying. Articuno just got all of its stats boosted. Right after I was praising us getting lucky with the, Iron Tail. 10% chance every time Ancient Power is used for that boost, and it got it. We're in trouble now. This is going to hurt a lot. We're definitely more on the physical side instead of the special side for defense. Cross Poison also has a high chance for critical hits, right? Yeah, okay. Let's go Cross Poison then. It's going to hurt a lot. We do not get one shot, though. Drapion bulky enough to survive it. Ooh, that did not do as much as I had hoped, and it did not poison either. That's bad. Let's go in for that Ancient Power boost attempt again. It doesn't appear that it got it, at least. Alright, Articuno trying to win the game here. I know that thing has sheer cold, but like, we're going to have to hope for some luck because we can't win. Like, we don't have enough oomph. Because it got a special defense boost also, so we don't have enough power to just win it right here. It goes first. It misses a sheer cold that could have ended the battle. The real question is, will it try sheer cold again, or will it go for an attack? I'm terrified that it's going to go for an attack. I'm just going to go straight into Psychic here. Okay, I said the opposite of what I was thinking. I was terrified it would do sheer cold again, but it's 0 for 2 on sheer cold. We got around it. Okay. 2 chances there for Articuno to end the game, and it didn't happen. So Garchomp's still alive. Their ace versus Shuckle's ace. Are they going to go straight into Thundering, or are they going to Rain Dance? I'm just going to go for Psychic. Shoot, they went for Rain Dance. I could have got another Calm Mind in. Okay. It does feel like it wants to do that just about every time it's in. That's not bad. The Calm Mind would have been better for us because it could have upped our range defenses, but that wasn't bad. This is gonna 100% hit now because of the rain. That is bad for us. Oh, even with our Calm Mind, oh, critical hit. I was gonna say, man, even with the Calm Mind, it did that. Zapdos in the red. We just gotta hit it one more time. It's switching up and going for Hurricane. I guess it's trying to confuse us. We were not confused. There's Psychic. The Great Garchomp have pulled it off. There's an unbeaten no more. But wow, what a great battle. I mean, literally it came down to one Pokemon both sides. And both teams had chances to win. I mean, literally, Articuno, if it lands either one of those 2 sheer colds, then Shuckle's still undefeated. Like, that's how close this thing was. Great teams picked by both teams this week. Good performance by both. With that, we'll have a new first place, I just realized, in the standings this week. Technically. Because not everyone's played the same amount of games. Yeah. Let's see, did we ever get a lineup for the third team? We did not, so we're going to be random number generating. Let me pull up the random number generator, and we'll do this live so everyone can see what is being picked. All right, let me add this in here. Real time. Let's see, do I want browser or window for this? I think I could do window. We got it, we got it. Okay. So, I'm going to read off the numbers beforehand so everyone knows what they were, so I can't be accused of cheating. All right, for the power, if it's a 1, it's Tyranitar. 2 is the original Moltres. 3 is Venusaur. 4 Alakazam. 5 Walrein. 6 Magnezone. 7 Abomasnow. 8 Toxicroak. 9 Driftblim. And 10 Rhyperior. We're just going to go by the round they were picked as the number that they received. So with all those numbers being read aloud and everyone knowing what I'm talking about now, let's make the window smaller so you can see me. With everyone knowing what I'm talking about now, let's see what we get. The first number is 9. So that would be Driftblim. Second number, 10. So we got Rhyperior. And when I do the random ones, when I'm in charge, I usually just go by the first one picked as the lead, but we'll see. Since I'm in control, I guess I could change that. 9 again, which we've already got, so re-roll. 8. Toxicroak. Not so random so far. 8, 9, and 10. There we go, something different. We got a 5, which is Walrein. And we get one more for the day. Tyranitar. Alright, give me a second to write that down on the scorecard here. And before anyone asks if it's fair for me to do this or not, I tried on 4 different occasions today before we started recording to reach out to this person, both just in general to talk to them as well as to get a lineup from them, and was unable to reach them all 4 times. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright, don't know why it's still showing that when that window has been closed. There we go. It was a little delayed there in that response. Alright, with all that being read aloud there, the Pokemon Power will be controlled by me with that random assortment of a lineup against the Mystic Magikarp. Both these teams' power are 2 and 2. Magikarp's 3 and 1. So on paper should be a good game. Although again, it may not be exactly what the owner of this team wanted to pick. So let's see, in order it was Drifblim, Rhyperior, Toxicroak, Walrein, and Tyranitar. In that order. Doesn't mean I have to follow that order, but that was the order that the random number generator picked them up. Alright. I didn't look at it. I mean, you saw how quickly I threw that together. How does this match up against Magikarp? It's going to be tough to pick a league because I literally have not had 0 time to think about it. Drifblim. Oh, Drifblim may have a bad day, except for possibly against Lucario. Rhyperior. Not awful if we can get around the Ninetales, since this is a more like physical Lucario set. Toxicroak could do something potentially against Lucario. Its poison attacks could potentially help with the Ninetales. Walrein just needs to be as tanky as it can be. And Tyranitar, if we get rid of the 2 fighting types, could be something. I'm not going to lead Tyranitar, though. Tyranitar's had a rough time so far this season. You know what? Walrein's bulky. Let's go Walrein and kind of just see what happens. Alright, it is Lucario first. The question is, will it Swords Dance or will it go right into attacking? I'm gonna... I was debating between Sheer Cold and Earthquake and I clicked too soon, but I think Earthquake will be fine here. Oh shoot, I don't think it... Wait, does it not have Swords Dance? Also, weird that they picked Extreme Speed. That was an odd choice. Did they misclick? If they did, okay. Earthquake again? Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know what they were doing with that Extreme Speed to start. They would have already had me defeated with 2 Drain Punches if they started with that. Alright, I know it's going to Extreme Speed, but I don't want something to take damage. I mean, the only thing I could have done would have been to try and predict it and put Drifblim in. But if I was wrong, Drifblim gets hit hard. Alright, Walrein goes down. Toxicroak could maybe get it from here with Sucker Punch. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to out-Drain Punch it. I think it might have Earthquake, though, so that could be a problem. I'm not sure if it's got enough without Sword Stance to one-shot us or not. It does not. Okay, Toxicroak survives. Lucario goes down. Alrighty. 1-1 so far. I wonder... My bet is the Raichu, because Psychic. Yeah, there we go. Tyranitar, Dark. Alright, there we go. Tyranitar successfully had a turn without dying. That's a start. Dragon Dance. Alright, they're going to switch to a free Dragon Dance. The Galarian Zapdos is kind of scary. It's not as fast as its cousin, but still kind of scary. It will be interesting with the Dragon Dance to see who's faster of the two of them, though. Because we are 4 times weak to fighting if it does outspeed us. Zapdos is still faster. That's going to hurt a lot. That might one-shot us. It does indeed one-shot us. Zapdos takes out Tyranitar. Man, even after a Dragon Dance, Tyranitar just, yep. Not a great year for Tyranitar so far. Which is a shame, because it's a really good Pokemon. What's hurting Tyranitar is with us not having IV investment or EV investment, it doesn't seem to have some of the bulk it normally has. I'm going to go Drifblim. Because again, its Thunderous Kick is not actually an electric attack. We could Will-O-Wisp it. That would be something. Throat Chop hurts, that's for sure. But if we get that Will-O-Wisp off, that'd be big. Okay, there we go. I don't believe that'll trigger. That won't trigger Defiant because it's a status like attack drop, not like a move or ability that caused it. Alright, so Drifblim's kind of in trouble, but, like, that was still really good to get that on the Zapdos. What do they have left? If we get around Zapdos, Raichu's the only fast one. Rhyperior will be needed for Raichu, like, try to Earthquake it. Toxicroak could potentially take on the other two if we're lucky. I mean, it'll be outsped by Ninetales, but it would at least have a shot if we could get a poison move off. So I think we just leave Drifblim in there and hope for the best, honestly. Drifblim goes down. The Zapdos is burned, though, so again, it won't do as much damage. It's just that Drifblim took so much damage that that was enough to take it out. Let's see, it's fighting type, so Sucker Punch not the best thing here. But also, I think we have to go Toxicroak here because I'm trying to keep as much health on Rhyperior as I can at this point, especially with the Sandstorm being gone. Poison Jab beats it for sure if we survive. I don't think we survive, so I'm going to go Sucker Punch to whittle it down more. Again, not a lot, but we did whittle it down a little bit more. Going for Brave Bird. Going for that knockout. Toxicroak will go down. The Zapdos will take damage and recoil, though. Alright, Rhyperior versus a burned Zapdos and 2 others. Let's see, I think technically it's part flying. Yeah, I was going to say that, so Earthquake wouldn't work. We're just going to Stone Edge. Hope for the best. Hope that with that burn, it doesn't completely obliterate us here. Man, that's still a pretty good hit, considering the burn. And it got a drop on us. Defense drop. That's not great for us, at least. I think it's their remaining Pokemon are special attackers, but that's still not great. Galarian Zapdos finally goes down. Here comes the Raichu. I think it has Surf. If I'm right about that, this might be game over. It does indeed have Surf without the Sandstorm. That's going to hurt us a lot. Rhyperior goes down. And that is a victory for the Mystic Magikarp. A 3-0 victory. Moving them up to 4-1. Congratulations, Mystic Magikarp. That was a good lineup and a good team. Power may have fared better if they got a lineup into me, but I don't know if they would have picked anything different than what the random number generator gave them, but yep. I hate that I had to do that, though. Like, I mean, I tried so many times, like I said, to reach out and get a lineup from them, and it just didn't happen. All right, moving on. Next matchup, we've got Nightmare AC at 3-2, coming back after starting, I believe, 0-2. Playing against Captain Spiro's crew, who, despite starting out 1-4, I'm still convinced this is the best team they've drafted to date in our league. So, they're still having, like, the best season they've had. So, we'll see if they can sneak out a win here or not. I hope not, since I'm in control of the other team, but yeah. I hit the B button instead of the A button there. My bad, guys. I do need a win here. I am 1-2 against the computer this week. Though I would also argue that some of the matchups were going to be tough for me to win anyway. Even if I had my absolute best game. So, we'll see how it goes. Seeing as it's a rain team, I imagine it's going to be Lombre or Pelipper starting. I probably would have picked either Lapras or Rotom myself to start. I was told to start Rotom by the owner of this team, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, Captain Spiro's crew and Nightmare After Christmas. Nightmare AC. I forget, do we have Thunder? We do indeed have Thunder, and that's for free with the rain up. They did not bring Lantern. So there's nothing to absorb the Thunder. I mean, I guess you could put Lombre out there. It won't be super effective, but still going to hurt. That's a heck of a neutral hit. Lombre outspeeds us because of Swift Swim. It did a lot more than I thought it was going to do. I know it gets the rain boost, but it not being fully evolved, I thought it was going to be weaker. Rotom gets the knockout, and with Volt Switch, we're able to choose what we want to put in there. Instead of leaving Rotom in. Let's see, we got Shell Armor. I'm going to put Lapras in there. Because his water Pokemon aren't going to hurt a fellow water Pokemon very easily. He does have a couple Pokemon, I think, that have, like, a grass attack or something. But they're not getting stab off it or anything like that. That's probably one of them, Octillery. It's a jack of all trades. That's part of why I love Octillery. My Octillery in Sword and Shield back when because it wasn't in Scarlet and Violet, but in Sword and Shield, it was amazing. Thunderbolt. And Octillery's already down to half its health and paralyzed. There's only a 10% chance of that from Thunderbolt. Lapras gets it right away. There's Seed Bomb. Lapras tanks it like a champ, despite it being a super effective hit. And Lapras takes out the Octillery. Alright, good start so far for Nightmare AC. Let's see. I mean, you're 4 times weak to electric, so I mean, just stay the course. Hurricane from the Swift Swimming Mantine. We're going to Thunderbolt it. It's tanky, so it survives despite the 4 times weakness and the critical hit. That critical hit's going to actually matter because, again, very bulky Pokemon. That probably didn't do it any favors. Alright, their rain is gone, so our Hurricane will not be 100% accurate. Still outsped us, though, even without the Swift Swim. Hurricane missed. Lapras takes it out with Thunderbolt. I would imagine that we're going to see Pelipper here to set the rain back up. Yep. Alrighty. Same thing. If it's working, why not continue it? Pelipper goes down in 1 shot to Thunderbolt. Lapras getting its moment to shine this week. It's a good Pokemon that a lot of people forget about. Or they stay away because they don't like its typing. Interesting it went for Dragon Dance instead of just trying to knock us out. If I was them, I would have tried to, like, knock us out and then maybe Dragon Dance on the next Pokemon. I mean, we do have the Thunderbolt. Gyarados, to the game's credit, does tank the Thunderbolt. Gyarados will take out Lapras. We're gonna wait till the water's gone on the off chance that with the Dragon Dance, the rain's gone. There's a chance with the Dragon Dance that Gyarados is faster, and I don't want it to beat Garchomp with a rain-boosted waterfall. All right, Rotom went down. Someone will probably comment, why did you throw Rotom out there? Well, we still had the chance to end it with an electric move quickly. Plus, Tentacruel's weak to Earthquake. I'm not sure if Swampert survives a waterfall here or not, to be honest. if they're in the rain. I could have probably tried that first and then Rotom. If we're somehow alive after this Ice Punch, we might be bulky enough. Don't flinch. We flinched. Okay, yeah, so on the bright side, we have successfully stalled out the rain. So Gyarados will not have as much punch now. But it's probably going to take out Swampert. Well, the number one pick of the draft, performing like the number one pick of the draft right now. This is the telling matchup. If it can get around Garchomp, then they have a shot at beating us. We're going to Rock Slide, and we're going to hope we're faster and that it doesn't go first and flinch us. Oh no, it's faster. This is why I was waiting for the rain to go away. Okay, we did not flinch. Garchomp going to get the knockout. Okay. And while that one's going to read 2-0 on paper, that was a very close matchup. If that's a flinch there, then Captain Spearo's crew goes on to win that matchup. Like, win the game. So that was a very close victory, but a 2-0 victory nonetheless for Nightmare AC. Whew. Almost an upset. Some shenanigans pulled around there by Captain Spearo's crew. But Nightmare AC managed to get through it. Let's go into our final matchup of the day. We've got... if I can find them on here. Fairmont Flygon and Smooch 'em or Lose 'em. Flygon need a win to keep pace with everyone at the top of the standings. And Smooch 'em needs a win to get a win. Alrighty. Making sure that they're ready to go. Okay. I kind of want to go Aggron here, because except for Xatu, like, Aggron kind of tanks everything. Regice also tanks everything. You know what? Let's just start Regice. Like, I believe they're almost entirely special attackers. Unless, I take it back, Licky Licky might be physical. But if that's the case, I could just swap out. Also, I haven't used Regice too much this season, Regice. And it's one of my favorite Pokemon, especially of the legendaries. So, it's another one of those Pokemon that's better than a lot of people give it credit for. Now, it'd be better if it had Ice Beam and Thunderbolt instead of Blizzard and Thunder. So we would know we were going to hit. We did make a small improvement. I added Icy Wind instead of Amnesia, though, because we never really used Amnesia much in these playthroughs. Blizzard. Why Okay. I guess that will boost. We get the 50% Blizzard, by the way. Good start there. Way to go, Regice. I guess it'll boost. I know the Lickitung, I think, has Hydro Pump. But that was still an odd choice. Alright, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Alright, we got the Lickitung first. Well, since we know it's 100% accurate, let's go Thunder instead of Blizzard. Oh, it's a Thunder battle. Yeah, unless it paralyzes us, they're not going to do a whole lot specially to Regice. Man, they must really just be fishing for that paralysis. Alright, 3 Thunders later, Regice takes out Lickitung. Interesting that they sent out Lickitung before Licky Licky, by the way. Oh, there we go. Thunder again. I thought about Icy Wind, but I was like, we're probably faster. And it turns out we are. Alright, we got the paralysis, so we're definitely faster. It's fully paralyzed on the first turn. Wow. Rain gonna go away? Alrighty. In that case, we're going back to Blizzard. %70 accurate. We're now 2 for 2, a 50 and a 70. They missed an 85, I think it's 85% accurate. I'll check on my phone here. Let's see. 75% accurate. Okay. Still though, ours was 70. 50 and 70 hit, 75 missed. 3 for 3 on Blizzard. All right. Regice came to play today. All right. All right. Oh gosh, I'll smooch him against Regice. This is a little bit of a disadvantage here. We have the flash cannon, so let's quit messing around. Just go to flash cannon. It outspeeds us and uses nasty plot. If we don't one-shot us, it might do a tiny bit of damage to us. It survives. To its credit, it survives. Now let's see what that nasty plot psychic looks like. I mean, that was better than what the Lickitung and Licky Licky were doing. Alright, Smoochum goes down. Their ace, Jinx, is what's left. And Regice was brought pretty much specifically for Jinx, because, yeah, it's not going to do a whole lot to us. I mean, it can put us to sleep, but our special defense is so good, it's not going to, like, one-shot us or anything. Lovely Kiss misses, alright. Works for me. We just need one more flash cannon, and this one's over. 0 for 2 on the Lovely Kiss, wow. Regice gets the 5-0 sweep on its own for the Fairmont Flygon. And that makes me 3-2 against the computer this week. Alrighty. I now need to update the standings real quick. I'll be right back. There's going to be some shifting in the standings after this week. Hang on just a moment, everybody, and I'll showcase how all that turned out. Alright, there we are. There's our updated standings. Well, we're about to show them. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Alright, I am now 17-13 against the computer. Not great, but better than where I was going into the week. And, alright, I'm going to have to do this on the fly because apparently it did not save them being in order here. Hang on just a second. Gotta love when technology doesn't work with you here. Hang on a moment. Alright, let's see here. This time we got it right. So, our updated standings are as follow. The Harper's Ferry Haunter have now moved in the first place. It is still showing the old logo, the old image for some reason, instead of the current image. There we go. Gosh, love technology. Alright, so third time's a charm. We got it right this time. So, with that being the case, Harper's Ferry Haunter currently in first place with a 5-1 record. So they are the team sitting up top right now, ahead of everyone else by the slimmest of margins. They're 5-1. Mystic Magikarp, despite losing to Shuckle Squad in their head-to-head earlier this season, technically ahead in the number 2 spot by 1 point in the point differential now at plus 11. Shuckle Squad going from first to third at plus 10 now. That was an awesome battle, and it really could have gone either way. I mean, Articuno had 2 wonderful shots at trying to get Cresselia. It just didn't happen. Nightmare AC now 4-2, kind of lurking in the wings. I see in Nightmare every year this team finds its way into the championship game. In the entire history of our league, this is our 6th year, and in the 5 previous years, whether they're the 1 seed or the last team barely getting in the tournament, they always find their way to the championship game. Look at them halfway through at the halfway mark of the season, just floating a game behind first place. They may be in 4th, but they're only a game behind first, so they're lurking. Fairmont Flygon also in that 4-2 spot. Another example of where Fairmont Flygon won the head-to-head, but Nightmare has the higher point differential, so they're ahead. Great Garchomp sitting in 6th place at 3-2. Squirtle Squad sitting in 7th at 3-2. So despite us having 11 teams in the league, 7 have a winning record. Number 8, the Power, 2-3. Unfortunate that they had to go with the random lineup today. I think that hurt a little bit. Knowing that they would have had Moltres. Moltres would have made a big difference in that battle. It would have been another thing that Lucario would have been weak to. Another thing that Galarian Zapdos would have been weak to. It would have had problems with Raichu, but like it would have helped. I think they also had Magnezone planned, which would have solved the Raichu problem. So I found out because they sent me a lineup like way after the fact, like after I was done with the battles. So it's a shame because I think their lineup would have been good. They just took too long to get it in. As I said earlier in the video, I tried to contact them like 4 times. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to them, and I'm not trying to, like, let me put it this way. I'm not being mean to them, but I also did not, like, it's not like I didn't try to contact them, you know? So, unfortunately, that's just how it played out. But we're halfway through the season. They got 5 more games, so they can turn around. They're only a game out of the playoff race right now, so that's not much at all, especially the way this league does things. Captain Spear's crew 1-5 really thought they were going to get that second win there for a moment against Nightmare. Gyarados got on a roll, and us taking it out of the rain really helped Garchomp there at the end. It just came down to if it flinched or not, and it didn't. Farfetch'd Gardening Club 0-5, but better than the record shows. Them and Captain Spear's crew are both better than the record shows. They've just not won some of the coin tosses and luck-based situations. Smooch 'em or lose 'em so far, and I don't mean this in a mean way, it's just kind of the truth. They're 0-6, and that really does tell the story. Again, not trying to be mean, that's just kind of the case. I mean, you look at their stats here, they pretty much rely on the same couple Pokemon every game. They haven't made any adjustments, like roster-wise, other than getting rid of Ninetales. So, like, there's a lot of good Pokemon out there. I mean, I'm just naming a few off the top of my head. There's Electivire, Magmortar, heck, regular Magmar, and Electabuzz are out there, too. Like, there's plenty of good Pokemon to pick from. There's still a Legendary out there. So adjustments could be made if they really wanted to, but, they haven't wanted to, and that's part of why they're where they're at. I know my team's 4-2, and I've considered cutting 1 or 2 Pokemon just because, like, I'm trying to keep pace with the teams above me. I did finally bring Crobat to a battle today, but it didn't get to make an appearance. After today's events, Regice climbed up to number 2 on my knockout list now for this season after the sweep. Garchomp still by far out in front for Nightmare, although Lapras had a great showing today. Great Garchomp. Cresselia still number 1. It got a lot of help, though. Like, Drapion doesn't get a knockout in the books, but it helped chip away at the Articuno. Absol traded with the Gengar. Altaria Got a very important Iron Tail on Articuno as well as a knockout. So they all played their role, even though the statistics don't really tell that. Pokemon Power, Alakazam and Rhyperior still leading the pack there. Walrein is doing decent. It's kind of bad luck there. Tyranitar has been the I'm trying to think of the right word. It's not speculation. But it has been the most unfortunate Pokemon. It has been like one of the biggest topics of discussion is why isn't Tyranitar doing well? So I don't know if it's just that it's fought a lot of fighting types or what, but like it just seems to keep somehow finding ways to go down, despite the fact that it's a pretty good Pokemon. Heck, I'd go as far as to say it's a great Pokemon. But for whatever reason, it has just been like an unlucky magnet so far this season. So I wouldn't give up on using it this season, Power. It's just been it's kind of like if you had a guy like a Peyton Manning that's in like a 3-game slump of throwing interceptions. It's like, you know what they can do, so do you wait out the slump because you know what they can do, or do you take them out for the moment because they're in a slump? You know, so I don't think that they need to be gotten rid of, but it is interesting. Like, it'll be up to that manager to make the call on if they continue to use it or if they don't use it, because that's a tough one. Squirtle Squad didn't play this week, so nothing changed for them. Harper's Ferry Haunter, their big star this week was Kingdra. Kingdra now has 4 knockouts. Azelf did its thing it usually does. Captain Spiro's crew, Gyarados showcasing its skills, getting it to the top of the list. The big 3 there, Gyarados, Pelipper, Lantern at the top. That's kind of what I expected when the season started, though they have not played a lot together, that trio. Smoochum or lose 'em. Jinx is the only one with a positive, like a semi-positive ratio. It's a dead even 5-5. Shuckle Squad, Zapdos finally went down for the first time this season. Cresselia got a chance to set up. Articuno had 2 good shots to win. Articuno had a great showing, though. Like, even though it missed the 2 sheer colds, it was putting on a show before that. So very strong showing from Articuno. Mystic Magikarp got a win today. Its big star was its Galarian Zapdos, which was its #1 pick. So good to see that pick paying off. And then Farfetch'd Gardening Club, Whiscash continues to lead the way there. It was unfortunate. I think it got hit by a critical hit today, if I remember, so that made it a little less bulky because of just bad luck again. This team has not been bad. Like, they haven't won a game yet, but they have not been bad, but they have been seriously unlucky. It seems like when they are the ones that need the flinching, the other team doesn't flinch. And when the other team needs the flinching, they absolutely flinch. Like, it just seems to be that kind of season so far. But there's still a whole second half of the season to turn things around. Let's look at the matchups for next week. I'm going to actually change this real time while we're looking at it here. It's 7. Going to go ahead and delete all of that. All right. So how do these matchups look? We've got Fairmont Flygon playing on the road against Captain Spiro's crew. All right, Captain Spiro's crew, who I believe is 1-5. I just read it out a second ago, but it's new enough information. It's not fresh in my head. Against the Fairmont Flygon, who are 4-2. Second game is Smooch 'em or Lose 'em. Who's 0-6. Playing against Nightmare AC. Who's also 4-2. Great Garchomp plays at Mystic Magikarp. Mystic Magikarp, who's now 4-1. Playing against the Great Garchomp, who's trying to get themselves reestablished at the top here. They are 3-2 now, I believe. Yes, 3-2. All right. And with all the trading back and forth, I assume that that means the Power is playing on the road against Chuckle Squad. And I would be right in that hunch, okay? Alright, so Shuckle Squad, who is now 4-1. Yep, 4-1. Playing against the Pokemon Power, who's 2-3. A win will put them back on track, if they can pull it off. So that's 4. And then instead of Farfetch'd Gardening Club being home against Haunter, it'll be Squirtle Squad, who is 3-2, playing at home against the Farfetch'd Gardening Club. Again, the bye week belongs to Harper's Ferry Haunter. At 5-1. So with that being the case, looks like Harper's Ferry Haunter is just long enough that with the word bye week in there, it doesn't like it very much. Oh my gosh, I can't get it back to where it was. There we go. Alright, so let's edit that real quick. We're just going to say bye to fit it on there. Perfect. Alright. Oh, man. Okay, so that's the schedule for next week. Fun fact, I think Harper's Ferry Haunter might stay in first place no matter what. Okay, not technically true. Harper's Ferry Haunter is up by 2 points. So if the Mystic Magikarp would win by 3, or if Shuckle Squad would win by 4, those teams would pass Harper's Ferry Haunter via tiebreaker. But, yeah. So that's it for this week, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. You know, that YouTube nonsense. And we'll be back next week with another week of the Pokemon Switch Draft League. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.